to give you a rundown on the inside stuff. So the first thing you'll see is the bathroom right here. So we have a toilet and a shower. With the toilet, if you are hooked up to full hookups, you can have your black water tank open into the sewer dump. If you're out boondocking and you don't have hookups, you're going to be using the black tank. So you'll have the valve closed on the black tank. Everything you drop down in the toilet will be stored in that black tank, and that's where we use these guys. So before our trip, we'll put a little bit of water in, we'll drop one of these guys down there, and it helps keep that black tank fresh if you're going to hold everything for a while in that black tank. Shower, it's great. I can fit in there. Be careful though, if you're in here using the bathroom and you turn around, you might accidentally turn the shower on, so just be kind of aware of that. Moving down.
Oh wait, how to flush.
Oh, how to flush, yes. So way over here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, here is the switch. So if I pull these forward, that will flush. If I pull the gray one, there's a white one right here, that's water only, so that will fill the bowl with water. If I do the gray forward, that will flush everything that's in the toilet bowl. All right, moving down here, we just have pantry space for you to store your food and any other items you want in there. This right here is your furnace output, so your hot air will come out of here if you're running the furnace. Down below here is cleaning supplies and miscellaneous things, first aid kit. This is where we store these. Another thing about the toilet is make sure you use RV or marine toilet paper only. Don't use regular toilet paper because it'll clog everything. Storage area for pots and pans. Okay, let's talk refrigerator. So you can store everything in here to keep it cold. There's a freezer to keep everything frozen. If you are hooked up to shore power, you want to be on the outlet indicator, so that will keep you cold. If you're boondocking, you want to use propane, so you'll be on the propane flame indicator, and then this indicator is just off. If you're on propane, you need to make sure your bottles are turned on up front, and then you're going to push in this red pilot indicator, and this light will illuminate green to tell you you have a flame, and the flame will help keep the fridge cold. This is your temperature setting. 5 is the coldest, 1 is the warmest. So we generally keep it on 5, or in between 4 and 5 is fine enough for settings. We've got storage space all above, all around, and then over here into the kitchen area we have plates, cups, bowls, all kinds of utensils, sink area, utensils again, spoons, knives, forks, pizza cutters, ice cream scoops, cutting boards, all kinds of things for you guys to use. Cleaning supplies, dishwashing supplies, trash bags, and things of that sort. Silverware and plasticware, little trash can for inside. And then, oh yes, and then this is your switch for your hot water heater. So if you want a hot water, you want to switch this to the on position. Very important to make sure that you're hooked up to water first before you turn this hot water heater on. You don't want the hot water heater operating without water in it. That's bad for it. Microwave, kind of self-explanatory. You want to make sure that you're hooked up to shore power to use the microwave, as well as the AC, which I'm going to go over in a second. Cooktop, propane, runs off propane, so make sure your bottles are open up at the front, and you can just use a flame, turn it to the on position, click your flame, and it'll light for you. Same thing with the oven. You can light the pilot light down underneath and cook a casserole or a cake if you want to. Down underneath here is just more supplies, dish towels, and some other supplies there for you. Okay, so let's talk about the roof. So we've got lights all the way through, and the lights will operate off the battery. So you can turn them on. There's lights in each of the bed areas, light in the bathroom, 3 in this area. There's lights everywhere. Here's the air conditioning unit. So right now we're plugged into shore power, so we're plugged into our house so we can operate this. We can't operate it under any other conditions. It won't work on our generator because our generator only puts out 2,500 watts. This needs about 2,800 watts to start up. If you try to start this on a generator without enough power, it'll fry your generator and the air conditioning unit. So make sure you're hooked up to 30 amps on the shore power before you turn this on. The switches are self-explanatory. There's high, and I can turn it all the way to cold. And I've got nice cold air coming out both directions, both sides. This thing does a great job. We took it out this weekend. It was over 80 degrees. We were nice and cool the whole time. So turn it back to off. This thing's great, but once again, shore power only. Oh yes, let's talk about this. So on the backsplash of the kitchen here is our indicators for our tanks. So if you push on the corresponding button for gray, you can see it's empty. Black is empty, and my freshwater tank is empty. And then this is my battery power, which is full because we're hooked up to shore power. Our rule of thumb with these is if we get to half, we're gonna dump, because we found that these indicators aren't all that accurate. We've been at 2/3 on the gray tank and have had backup in our sink, and it will actually overflow into this cabinet down here from this drain that's right here. And then everything will get nice and wet. So you want to make sure you're paying attention, excuse me, paying attention to these indicators. These indicators, if you're halfway or you're at 2/3, it's time to dump. And then last thing, this switch right here is your hot water heater. I'm sorry, your water pump. So if you are boondocking and you're not hooked up to city water, the water pump will pull water from the water tank, which is under this bench right here, will pull water into your plumbing system so that you have water in your faucet and in your shower and in your toilet.